She may weigh more than 500 pounds and take out the equivalent of 2 liters of baby elephant formula in less than 2 minutes. But trust us, Linh Mai is really just an itty-bitty baby.
It's pure joy. I think anybody looking at that elephant calf is exactly how we're feeling.
This beautiful, not quite little bundle of joy was born at the National Zoo in early February and has spent the last few months getting ready for the thousands of people that will make their way to the zoo to see her.
She better be ready. From what I understand, she's already a very popular lady.
But her entry into the world hasn't been completely smooth. Linh Mai's mother, Nhi Linh, who is a first-time mom, did not connect with her new daughter, something that can happen with Asian elephants.
We know that things can go wrong. We know that nothing's perfect. This is also what happens in the wild.
But the zoo was prepared. In steps Swarna.
Once we were really looking for some sort of companionship for Linh Mai, we went right to Swarna. And during their immediate introduction to one another, Swarna's behavior indicated to us that she knew what Linh Mai was. She knew that she needed support.
The older female elephant that had helped to raise calves in the past quickly became Linh Mai's surrogate auntie, a role that is vital to the baby elephant's growth.
They've been inseparable ever since.
Swarna is teaching Linh Mai all the important things elephants need to know.
They don't come out of the womb just knowing how to use their trunk. They've got to be taught.
Correct. They're very similar to us in the fact that they need to learn how to be an elephant and how to master the skills to be successful at it.
And as she matures, she's also growing between 2 to 3 pounds a day. So if you want to see her as a baby, you better get here quick, because just like human babies, they grow in the blink of an eye.
And it is pretty remarkable to see the baby interact with Swarna, that surrogate auntie. Right now, she's the only elephant that she spends any time with. There is a bit of an introduction with the rest of the herd through a fence line. The goal would be that eventually Linh Mai will be able to join the entire herd and perhaps even reunite with her biological mother. But I have to tell you guys, it's probably not a bit of a surprise. She is absolutely adorable. It's crazy to see her in person.
Wow, what a story, Ryan.
I know, it's kind of, it touches your heart. She had a little adversity.
Yeah, with the auntie stepping in. Ryan, is it possible? What are the odds that she'll be reunited with the biological mom at some point?
The zoo feels pretty confident about that. So it's not uncommon that even in the wild that a mother doesn't necessarily connect with her baby, but over time as they grow and mature, they feel a bit more comfortable with their calf. But they want to take that time to reintroduce her, to get her connected to the rest of the herd. Elephants are very social creatures. They like being together, but they want to take it step by step to make sure she's safe along the way. But they knew that Swarna was prepared to fill in this surrogate auntie role. She's done it many other times over the course of her life, so the zoo had backup after backup after backup plan to make sure that Linh Mai's growth was everything they needed it to be.
Wow, what a heartwarming story.
You know, Ryan, between the pandas and now the elephant, you've really carved out quite the lane for yourself down there in D.C. at the National Zoo.
Yeah, at some point I think I'm going to get an official Smithsonian, one of those the polo shirts they wear. Just said, at some point I have to clean up the poop, though. I think that's when I officially become a member of the
You got to earn your
covering it like Capitol Hill, like getting the backstory.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people wouldn't have touched that awkward thing with the mom. They're sort of the elephant in the room.
We took, that was good. We took the kids down to the zoo last year, and we saw the pandas, the 2 pandas who are apparently romantically trying to get involved now. And there was a line, I mean, the line was just ridiculous. So between
to watch the pandas?
No, to see the pandas.
Where are we going?
There's a wall between them.
Okay.
Like, yes. You were here for that story last week, right?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.